Thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah, look, it's good to get your perspective here because we know that COVID-19 has affected many industries in South Africa. Talk to us about mining operations where you are, Lurco operations, because the Mineral Energy Minister says mining companies would operate, but at a reduced scale. How's it affecting you?
Well, I mean, thank you for that. I think more than anything else, all of us, we are heading to the president's call. I mean, regarding the fight against this virus. I mean, we are really at war, basically. But also, companies like ourselves, who are the backbone of our energy security, have to make sure that we are part and parcel of assisting the nurses. I mean, all those that are in the front line, of emergency services. So that's how we see ourselves, I think, as Lurco as well, to ensure that we can be able to assist Eskom to provide power, I mean, to all the places that will require power, I mean, as we try to combat this virus.
Yeah, you say we are at war, no doubt. We are against this virus, a very determined disease. What's Lurco's strategy in curbing the spread of COVID-19?
Well, there's a few things now that I think that we've implemented. We talk about a 6-plan strategy. I mean, if you look at it, most of our guys, I mean, they will come in the morning. I mean, initially they used to come in a bus. That will be what you normally have, your 14-seater. Now we've reduced that. I mean, we're now making sure that there's only about 7 people in a bus. And one of the things that we then do is that we've ensured that within the bus they get sanitizers, they get masks, and then by the time they also get into the mine gates, there's things that the securities have to check. The securities have to check their temperatures. If your temperature is above 38 degrees, we have to send you to a clinic to ensure that you are looked after. And if your temperature is below 38 degrees Celsius, then you are sent into the mine. And then also by the time the guys get into the mine, they're then also given sanitizers, they're given masks to ensure that they can then move into operations. And things that we've also done, I mean, we've shut down our offices. Our head office has been shut down. All our employees now are working at home to ensure that we keep the physical distancing, I think, because that's one of the key things that I think that for us to be able to combat this virus as Lurco, that we thought that let's make sure that it's done. And then also our offices have now been changed. I mean, we now have one person working in an office per station. So there's a lot of things that I think that we've tried to ensure that we put in there to ensure that our people are able to deliver the energy that the country desperately needs in this war against this virus.
Yeah, look, some of the casualties of this war is no doubt concerns about getting paid, getting their full salary at the end of April. What's the situation where you are? Are workers going to get their full salary at the end of April?
Well, I think I would say that we are privileged in a sense that being classified as an essential services company, I mean, and also being a company that we have to ensure that Eskom keeps the lights on. We have long-term contracts that we have with Eskom and that they've been good to us. And therefore, through that, I think that we'll be able to ensure that our employees continue to keep our energy security ahead. Because that's basically our call here. I mean, it's our call to action, I think, as we join. I'm looking at other countries as well. I mean, where you have medical service providers, paramedics, we see ourselves as part and parcel. The guys who are working in the grocery shops, all of those people, we see ourselves as part and parcel that ensure that the entire value chain does continue work, so that to keep people's life safe.
Look, we understand that Lurco was in the process of acquiring some coal mines previously owned by the Guptas. Tell us more about that. How's that process going?
Well, I must say, I mean, with the call now from the president for us to scale down on a few things, the process is going ahead. I mean, there is what you call the business rescue practitioners are running the process as we speak. But I think for us now, we've decided to put those self-interest aside, and I think focus on ensuring that we are able to bring down the cap. I mean, as we join the president in fighting this virus, I think as soon as we are in a place where we think that we've come out of this, I think that we'll be announcing more measures in terms of how do we then look at even other operations going forward. But it remains part of our growth strategy. But for now, we are focused in ensuring that we fight this invincible enemy called COVID-19.
Yeah, look, I hear you when you say, we're ready to come out of this. I guess there's optimism that we will come out of this, but will life change post-COVID-19? I'm not sure if there is going to be a post-COVID-19. Medical experts tell us that we might be living with this virus for the near future. Look, we can bring in the scientists to talk about that. But in terms of our lifestyle changes, that's going to be different in terms of how we conduct ourselves hygienically. But speaking about the future of coal mining post a COVID-19 pandemic, how do you see it?
Well, I mean, for me now, I mean, I'm joining my colleagues now globally who are in the coal space. I would say countries like ourselves, South Africa, that are blessed with a lot of reserves in coal. I will talk about countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, countries like, if I were to put in, countries like Vietnam, that are all dependent on coal. The future of coal, there's a lot of things now that we are now doing as an industry. Just like what is happening now with COVID-19, we are now also trying to find ways of making sure that we can deliver cleaner energy. We are looking at institutions like CSIR, who are now coming up with technologies that will help us to reduce the emissions. I mean, because the challenge is more around emissions. Yeah. But a country like South Africa or Africa, cannot afford to ditch the coal industry. The coal industry is still going to play a major role in this country, and we continue, I think, as Lurco, looking at countries like Swaziland, looking at countries like Botswana. Before the epidemic started, we're also looking at talking to countries like Zim in terms of being able to assist them. So those are some of the things that we are now trying to make sure that at least the pipeline of coal continues.
Yeah. Look, Mr. Nxumalo, it's a time of innovation, I guess, a time of thinking outside of the box during these uncertain times, and definitely trying to stay ahead of the game. But we thank you for your perspective, giving us an insight into the mining industry and how COVID-19 is impacting the mining industry. Be well, sir.
Thank you so much, and we welcome this. Stay safe, you and your family.
You as well. Ellington Nxumalo, CEO of Lurco Group.